Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara. Today's video is going to be empties from the past couple of months. In the past, I did one video for declutters and empties every single month, but I wanted to do it a bit differently for end of the year because I counted on having more empties than usual. So I wanted to do a dedicated video for empties and a dedicated video for decluttered items. If you're interested in what I decluttered at the end of the year, then you can check out my previous video. But today I'm just gonna be talking about empties. I've got a lot of products. I've got quite a few makeup, which is very exciting, and then a bunch of skincare as well. Hair care, random samples, but I'll start with makeup because I know that's what everyone is the most excited about. I'm gonna start off with a lipstick that I finished because I know finishing lipsticks, it's a feat, it's a task. It is unparalleled in the Project Pan universe. Other than maybe blush, I feel like blush is also very difficult. For me, for some reason, lipstick is far easier to finish than blushes, but that might be because the lip products that I've selected to finish have been on the easier side, have been like creamier, more like lip balm texture, which has made it easier. I think I've spoken about this in a previous video, but I can't even remember at this point. This is a L'Oreal lipstick in Mango Tango, and I picked this to pan because it was already like half finished, and also because it has a very creamy formula, as I mentioned before, and also because I like the smell. I find that when I don't like the smell of a lipstick, it is just that much harder to actually finish it because it makes me not want to reach for it, of course. This was a similar color to my lips, which also made it easy to use up. I could just use it whenever and it didn't look like out of place to have it on my lips. And also because it was kind of creamy, it was almost just like a tinted lip balm, but thicker. Didn't love this. I still like the smell. It reminds me of like something from my childhood, I think, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't like the packaging. I don't think it looks very nice. And I feel like this is also pretty old, even if it has lasted very well. But I knew that I would be able to finish this, so that is why I worked on it for the past couple of months. It didn't actually take too long. The next, this is a bit tricky. So I had an empty container of face powder. I had finished this earlier in the year. This was just the NYC Smooth Skin Pressed Face Powder. What happened was this blush, there were 4 different colors and one of them was actually a bronzer. The bronzer broke when I moved and I wanted to be able to use it up, but I figured that if I tried to repress it, it would sort of smush all the colors together. So I thought what made more sense was to actually take out the broken pieces of the bronzer and put it into an entirely different container, which is what I did, and I successfully panned that. It was actually fairly simple. Ever since I switched to a different bronzer brush, it's been much easier to get through my bronzers. I spoke about that in a previous video, techniques that I've changed because of my makeup no-buy and trying to project pan items. Because of that, I think it was done within a month. So that was great, and this is what it currently looks like. I did actually have to repress one of the blush colors, but you can see there's no more bronzer in there, and there's no more bronzer in here either because I finished it. Next, I finished an eye primer, a sample of an eye primer, but the thing about this is that you would think a sample takes like maybe a couple uses to use up. With these Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion samples, I have found that they took so long. I don't know why, but I had 4 of these. I think it probably came as like a sample with purchase or something. To begin with, I don't love the formula of the Urban Decay Primer Potion, though I actually recently used up a full one. I think I talked about that in my last empties video. I didn't love it, but I managed to get through all of it. And so you can imagine that having 4 samples, I didn't love that, but I also know that like I'm not gonna pass this on to someone else. Someone else doesn't want to use my like little sample, but this took like weeks to use up. And keep in mind that I use eyeshadow primer potion every single day, right? Like I have very oily eyelids, so I'm not just using it every couple days. I'm using a lot of it and I'm using it frequently. But by the time I got to the end of this, it was like dried up and I couldn't spread it across my eyelids. It was that dry. So I don't know what would be better kind of container for them to put their eyeshadow primer potion samples in, but this was not it for me, and I won't be buying any more Urban Decay primer potions because they're just not what I prefer. And I do have other products I can use, so that's all well and good. Next, I finished a lip balm. I don't actually know if this is considered like skincare or makeup, but lipstick is makeup, so I'm gonna include it in the makeup category. This was a peppermint lip butter from the Rocky Mountain Soap Company. I think this is my oldest product in my whole collection, like out of skincare, hair care, makeup, everything, because I don't even know if I want to tell you how old this is, but my friend gave this to me as a present before she moved away, and I know when she moved away. Shockingly, It smells perfectly fine. The formula didn't change at all. And considering this is like, it says 100% natural. So this is like a kind of an organic company. It says recyclable. I would have thought this would be like Lush and expire in like a year or two, but it has been a long time. It lasted perfectly. Great formula. So I'm glad that I was finally able to get through that because I didn't use it for so long and I still loved it when I came back to it. And one more thing, I don't think that I mentioned this agave lip balm. This was just a sample from Bite and I used this in my first impressions video. I wasn't wowed by it. I also think that it's very tricky to like have to use up a sample of a lip item because it just like dries up. So I don't know where I stand on the whole like sample things because I feel like when I've tried samples, it never ends up very well. The only exception is when I was trying to find a new foundation like a long time ago at Sephora, they gave me a little bit of foundation in like a self-contained container, like you could twist it closed, so it was able to stay good. That was the only way that I feel like worked because this sort of has like a bit that's open to the air. This obviously has a huge amount that's open. Anyways, that was an unrelated tangent. All right, that was the makeup. Now let's move on to skincare. This is a cleanser. This was from Garnier. Had this for a long time. Foaming cleansing gel. This was fine. I don't have strong opinions either way, but I'm sure that this is not cruelty free, so I will not be repurchasing. And you can see how large it is. Like this took me forever. I am much happier with my face routine right now. I feel like it's doing much better things for my skin. The next is this eye cream. I don't even know where this came from. When I was moving, I was like, oh, haven't seen that before. Might as well try to use it up. It is from Yves Rocher. I didn't notice any difference whatsoever with this. I don't even know if I really believe in eye cream, but then again, I'm like very early on my skincare journey. So a year from now, I might think that saying that is blasphemy. Who knows? The next is a cleanser sample. You can see I'm just trying to like use up my samples. When I moved, I discovered a whole host of items that I didn't remember that I had. And I was like, well, there's never gonna be a better time to use these things up. So I thought that it was a face mask actually, but it was actually a cleanser. It was one of those ones that like you put it on your face and it heats up, which I find kind of weird, but also like weirdly satisfying. This took a long time to use up. It kind of stung a bit, but I don't know, buy rate. Definitely not cruelty free. Won't be repurchasing. Don't have strong opinions either way. Next, I don't know if this counts as skincare. It's definitely not hair care and I don't think it's makeup. So this was the Harajuku Lovers Music perfume. This was the first perfume that I ever loved. It might have also been the first perfume that I ever tried. And I had like the tiniest amount left for probably the last like 5 years just because I didn't want to use it up because it was my favorite perfume. Now, I would rather just use up products, frankly, because it's not doing anybody any good by just sitting there on a shelf and taking up space. I do love the packaging, so I haven't decided if I will actually throw this out or not, but I figured that it was high time to get rid of this. Next is this Japanese cherry blossom body lotion from Bath & Body Works. I still have tons and tons of Bath & Body Works products from back in the day when Bath & Body Works was huge and that was what people gave each other as presents. I feel like that was like high school, undergrad for me. So I've had some items for a long time and just never finished them. Even some body sprays from Bath & Body Works I still have. I know I'm way behind the times. I'm working on it. Lastly, hair. So these are a couple of macadamia, what is the brand called? Just like macadamia oil products. I remember that was huge back in the day, so I bought like a bunch of different kits because I was obsessed with it. I love the smell, I love the products. This was a deep repair mask. I think this came in one of the kits. I still have a few items from it, but I've gone through most of them, thankfully. This lasted very well, had it for a long time, but it didn't seem to have expired. I like the smell, but I don't really know if it was worth all of the hype that it got back in the day. I don't know if maybe they just like had really great sponsorships and that's why all the YouTubers talked about it, but they convinced me and I really enjoyed it while I used it. This is actually the exact same thing, deep repair mask, but this is just a sample size. I feel like this probably came in one of the kits or was like a gift with purchase, but this took so long to use up because, oh, it's cruelty free. I actually didn't know that. I don't wash my hair too often and this took forever to use up. All right, so that was everything from my empties from the past couple months, my end of the year empties. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed and let me know if you would prefer me to keep my empties and declutter videos separate or do them together every month as I have done in the past, because I haven't decided what I'll do going forward. It may depend on how many items I get through every month and if there's enough to have its own substantive video. I haven't decided. And keep your eyes out for future videos. I will be discussing my 2021 project pan and also what my makeup goals are for the year 2021. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. I don't even know how I'm gonna begin videos in the new year because like I will have completed my 2-year no lie.